Well, welcome to week 3 of the Fighting Fanatics News Center. I'm your host, Bigragu.
I'm your co-host, Lou Dog. Welcome. Remember, call in your questions, any comments that you have, 555-FFNC, 555-3362 for you illiterates. We are taking questions. We tape live every Sunday, so call in.
Yeah, okay. Now, before we start, we just want to get the awards out of the way, get them done, because people are complaining we're not giving them out and stuff like that. So, for the Fighting Fanatics, or the Fighting Fanatics Fantasy Football League, or the FFL, as we call it, we have the team of the week was the Iowa Cornholers, 134 points. Great job.
Monster game.
Absolutely. High point player of the week, MGD, or MJD, I'm sorry, you know, back in the day I used to, anyway. 119 yards rushing, 4 receptions, 29 yards, 3 total TDs. Absolutely great. Dumpster team of the week. We actually had a tie. This is a rarity in our league there.
What about bench points? Well, bench points decide a tie? I mean,
dude, it's turd. It's like you're shining a turd.
Shining a turd.
If you come in last and you're the worst teams in the league, that's pretty much where you're going to be.
Now, I saw
Do we really have to look at the bench where,
well,
what? What?
You know, so I watched Mythbusters, and they were able to shine a turd and do luminosity on there. I think the lion turd was the shiniest, and the giraffe was the...
I think the fact that you just said luminosity kind of disqualifies this, and we need to go on to a different thing there. But the Guns and the the Bears there, both teams of the week, the prior 2 weeks, now they get to share that award there, and I hope you guys enjoy the,
All right, we're going to change the format just a little bit and hit some highlights. We had 7 victors in week 3. 7 teams won. 7 victors.
Yes, 7 games.
Well, you have to understand that half our owners are smoking weed. So right now it's like, oh, dude, yeah, 7, thanks for the help, you know.
But if there's 2 of us sitting right here, and out of the 7, if we're both on like different, well, one of us.
The other half of the owners are drinking beer, and they're thinking, oh yeah, 7 victors, and half the owners aren't even watching these videos, and that just hacks me off. And that's to you owners who ain't watching.
It's 3 halves, man.
As most people know, 3 halves make a whole. Anyway, 7 victors: Spartans, Lizards, the Kings, Cornholers, Headbangers, Leather Boys, and the Quakers. Those are the 7 teams that won in week 3. Anything out of there that you thought was the upset of the week?
Absolutely. I mean, you looked at the Kings pulling their win over the Guns, beating them. The mentoree, as you could say, beat the master or the teacher or something. He pulled what we call in this league, he pulled a centurion.
No. I take exception to that. You know, 3 years ago, yeah, okay, the franchise moved cities. The general manager was fired. A new owner or new coach was appointed, and that was the Fighting Laplanders. The Fighting Laplanders. So maybe if you were lapped or laplanded or lapgunned or something.
They're lap dance.
Lap dance.
But you wouldn't say lap dance because that's like a good thing, unless your buddy's over at the bar and he gets that really nasty.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
I don't even want to finish that one. Anyway. But still, you know, he pulled a centurion. So by him going ahead and beating them, what do we call it, Lou Dog? He pulled a Lou Dog?
No, he pulled a king. He pulled a gun. He pulled something, but he didn't pull.
I hope he didn't pull too many guns. Oh, Jesus.
We got a call.
We got a caller already.
Caller.
Got a caller already. Hold on a second. Let's see what we got here.
Fighting Fanatics News Center, you're on the air. Hey, it's the owners of Bears. We're doing okay.
Good. So I had a good day at work today and had some sausages and a couple of beers, and then we went out there and coached a little league football today. Do a little golf tomorrow.
All right.
You like coach the little the Bears?
Yeah, we coach the Bears, but we call them the Westchester Gold.
That doesn't sound like the Bears at all.
Well, they're like the Bears. Actually, they're sort of like the Cubs. They ain't doing too good this year, but they'll be okay. They'll be fine.
I don't know if I'd ever call anybody the Cubs, but anyway.
What? White Sox. Don't Don't say that about the Sox.
So week three, what happened? Tell us what's going on.
It was rough. It was really, really rough. I had a running back. Guaranteed me. I would say probably between 20 to 25 points.
Who was that?
The other than Frank Gore. Frank Gore goes out.
Okay.
He gets a little dinged up the week before in Seattle.
You had 40 points. You had 40 points week 2.
207 yards rushing.
Week 3,
Correct.
goose egg. What happened?
He had 1 carry for 4 yards, sprained a ligament in his ankle. Down goes
Frazier?
Gore. Yeah, it was worse than Frazier. It was way worse than Frazier going down. As soon as it happened, I was done. There was no way I could come back. 1 week of having a quarterback go -8 yards, or negative 8 points, and we
Jake
all
DeLong.
know
Yeah,
the
that's nice.
dummy is, dumb DeLong, and, I could come back and beat the Kings,
I think he might be
but
one
with
for
the guy
7.
that scores 40 points, and he goes down the next week, it just absolutely killed me.
Yeah, and that would happen. So, I mean, you were 2-0 in the league. You were looking very, very strong, and now you're, after the injuries and stuff, and with the bye weeks coming up, multiplying or adding to, you're like a 65-point underdog this week. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. Fallen Guns definitely went out. He got some trade help.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
he definitely, he's coming through this week. I still think I've got a slim chance in hell against him, but I might be able to do something. The ice cubes may not melt all the way. I might be able to hang in there for a little bit. You never know. It all depends on how they perform on any given Sunday. He can have Drew Brees going against the New York Jets defense. They pretty much shut out Tom Brady.
That's a great point. That's a good point there.
We're going to close the call here, but before we go, any comment on injuries and how you manage through that, or what do you do when you lose a Frank Gore?
Well, when you lose like a Frank Gore, or you lose a top name player, what you gotta do is you gotta skim the waiver wire, and hopefully a team that's 0-3 or 1-2 is not able to get that one player that can help you. What will help me is I've got a trade offer from Camel Toes, and I think I'll probably go ahead and make that deal with him to get a little bit of running back help and to help him out.
So
I think I'm going to go ahead and go along with that trade just to help out until I can get my players back. As long as you got a strong bench, I have a fairly strong bench. To help me through it, it will be okay. But it's like I said, any given Sunday, any given day, it just depends on what the matchups are and who they're playing.
All right, well, I think you hit the nail on the head there with matchups and everything. And obviously, once a player's injured, it's not like you can swap him out and put him back in, at least not in fantasy.
That's right.
So, well, thank you to Bears for calling in there, being part of the show. Best of luck to you this week. I mean, you're going to get mud stomped, but let's hope something happens and you don't get beat as bad and you're maybe not the dumpster team of the week 2 weeks in a row.
Don't think that'll happen.
You never know. A hurricane could hit the Fallen Gun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's possible. It could be a great. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's good. Later.
Before we get on to the injuries report, the Quakers on this last week, they had 2 guys out, LT and Westbrook.
LaDainian Tomlinson and Westbrook, and he still was only 2 points off the top, from being team of the week. It's amazing. That team is a lot stronger than I thought it was. Very, very scary. Very scary team.
So injuries. What do we got coming up in injuries?
Well, if you're running back for the Dallas Cowboys, New Orleans Saints, you're in trouble because you're injured. And Felix Jones just suffered the injury. It's a PCL, not an MCL, which means the stabilization in his knee is not going to be as good. It's intertwines with the ACL and it's loose. That could be bad. He could be out for quite a while. Marion Barber, obviously, with the quad. hurt quad, big muscle, takes a long time to heal. Said he was practicing, but he could be there.
Who's RB3 for Dallas then?
Shard choice. If he's available in your league, if you're in one of them little small wuss 8 or 10 team leagues, you know, not really, you know, being out there, he could be available. It's very possible. You have Willie Parker with the turf toe, Matt Hasselbeck with the ribs, Mike Bell with his MCL sprain, LaDainian Tomlinson with the ankle, Portis with his bone spurs in his ankle, strained calf. They said he's still practicing. But I think the biggest things you start looking at is like Wes Welker with his knee. Played great in the preseason, had a great first game, but now they're saying it's a knee problem. You never know with New England. But even bigger than that, though, I think you got to look at a player like Troy Polamalu. You don't think of this as much, but Pittsburgh
1-2, right?
Is 1-2.
1-2.
How many games have they lost since Polamalu's been out? 2. He definitely, when you start looking at Pittsburgh defense, if you're thinking about starting them, they are going against San Diego. Might not be a good night for him. Dwight Freeney from the Colts is definitely out from 2 to 4 weeks. They're thinking more like 2 because Freeney heals like a beast. But he's going against Seattle this week, or the Colts are. But then again, when you have Hasselbeck out against Seattle, might not be as bad. But as with Pittsburgh, they'll probably lose to San Diego, go 1-3. But then when you got the cure-all for all your ailments, when you're playing Detroit and
Cleveland,
Cleveland, you're going to have that.
What do you think the prognostication for this coming matchups are, and what's your upset of the week?
Okay, well, I have the Spartans winning, the Guns, the Cornholers, the Kings, Crime Boss, Headbangers, and the Quakers all winning this week. My upset of the week, actually, is the Headbangers over the Leather Boys. Leather Boys are favored by 22 points. As it stands right now, I mean, that could change. It's possible. I still don't think it's going to help. I think, looking at matchups, I think the Headbangers take it over. And game of the week, I think, is going to be the Crime Boss beating the Camel Toes.
I think there's a 2-point separation, so that's the game to watch.
Yeah, that's going to end his skid.
Battle of two cities. We right now Dayton's in the advantage in both win column and weak column. What do you think is going to happen there? I like also to point out that
I think it's going to be evened out. I think Columbus is going to even the score there in the wins and the
wasn't last year you were accused of being a traitor to the city of Columbus, contributing a lot of losses to the who won last week?
Yeah, I was the one. Yeah, both all my wins this year have come against the Dayton squad. So until the other guys step up, they need to recognize who the
carrying the frickin' team is what.
That's right. Well, yeah, I've got 40% of our wins right now.
All right. So what's going to happen this next week? What's going to happen with the Battle of Two Cities?
Well, Columbus is going to win the Battle of Two Cities. What are you talking about? If Dayton's a dead town, it's dying, you know, and then you got vibrant Columbus coming in there and smacking your mouth off.
Well, that's some bullshit. All right. I think we're done for this week's edition.
And if Mike Wallace is available in your draft there, the wide receiver from Pittsburgh, just one of my guys I want to throw out there, you might want to snag up there.
Mike Wallace. I haven't heard him yet. Okay.
Haven't heard of him, but you will. All right, well, this has been the Fighting Fanatics News Center. I'm your host, Bigragu.
And I'm Lou Dog.
And we are out.